Hey, welcome back to the print house, guys. Today I'm changing out my cap top on the bn-20. And this is not really going to be a how-to video because there's some really good ones online that's kind of pointless for me to do. But I did this before and I couldn't find the video, so I wanted to do another one. The cap top basically is your capping station for your print head. And they recommend replacing that every 6 months, and also to only use, OEM cap tops, from Roland. Don't use, these aftermarket ones. I used aftermarket wiper ones, but other than that, they're fine. They're $71 right now. That could change when you buy yours. But when you're doing this, what I tell people is visually inspect it, get good light in here. And when you're doing this cap top, because you got to remove all these covers, it's a good time to go in and see if you want to do any cleaning on here. Some of your substrates leave, dust on the sides. I know there's a bearing or bushing in here that I hear in a lot of videos. This starts creaking back and forth. You could drop a little bit of oil on the side here. Very little, not much at all. You don't want to get oil, anywhere else on your belts or anything like that. And then, when you are doing this and you remove your head over, you basically want to visually inspect everything in here, clean down your wipers assembly, and when you take off the capping station, you're going to want to clean around there. Mine's pretty clean. But I'm not doing an install how-to video. There's really good ones out there. And then what you want to do is you want to check for any drippings. So if you have any drippings on your media when you're printing, chances are you have a leaky damper. Your dampeners could be leaking. And if that's the case, then you got a little bit more intuitive deal and an issue going on. And it may not be good for, somebody that's not really mechanically inclined, because you have to remove a lot of the assembly on the print head. Dampeners can run, I've seen them for 60, 70, but I think some are maybe $100. So, you could spend a good amount of money, and these are cheap right now. So, if you could find one and you got major issues, maybe just buy a new one, But, keeping up the maintenance on these things, and they will last a long time, guys. This thing's been bulletproof. And just up until recently, I know my capping station, what happens when they go bad is they fill up because the lines going down to your wash tank or your wash disposal box, whatever you want to call it, they dry up, and then it doesn't allow the fluid from the ink, because the dampeners pull ink through the head to go down. So if it's not draining, you're going to get excess ink build up on your capping station. It's this, and it sits in there. This is a cap on there now. And when it doesn't drain, it's just going to keep messing with your print nozzles, and they're going to stay wet. They're not going to fire right. So you want to get a capping station, and they say about 6 months. I've seen people take them off and clean them, or I've seen some people just get the station without the tubing. But it's a small price to pay to save yourself thousands of dollars later. Just replace it like you're supposed to. You know what I mean? Every so often you could put fluid right on there and let it drain down. That'll help break up any dried ink if you've had your machine setting for a while without running. Mine's very clean, and this thing's been bulletproof. I love this thing. I'm going to drop a little bit of oil on the bearing like I talked about, because it does have a little bit of a, you'll hear it when you run. And I believe it's just on these bearings right on the side here, which just boom, drop a little, you're good. You don't want to really oil up things on here because you don't want it to collect dust. Another thing is I look on the sides of the slide. I make sure that there's nothing, sticking up or looking like it's real clumpy. And then you want to wipe your sides, take your media out, which I'm going to do right now. Take the media out, right? Move your paddles, your media hold down paddles out of the way, and just look across this feed roller. It's a grit roller, and there's spaces. Just make sure there's no vinyl stuck to that. Sometimes when you buy, rolls from some places, they can leave residue, or they just leave little pieces of vinyl stuck to that. So you can just wipe it down. Just, a lot of this isn't going to come off because it dries and stains that metal pretty good. Let me turn the light on here. It won't let me do that in wide angle. So anyways, that's about it. I'm going to go ahead and replace this and give it a good cleaning. You don't want to spend too much time, but follow the instructions on the videos. The Stahl has a really good one that shows you every screw to remove it as you're working. So, but do this, okay? Then your printer will last quite a while. So this is the bn-20. This is not bn-28. This is the original one, and I love this machine. So take care of it. It'll give you lots of years of use. So I'm over like 2 years on this thing now, so kind of liking it. And I got it used. I actually had to clean it up really good to get the print heads going because it wasn't printed for a while. So, but that's it, guys. I'll do a follow-up video and attach it to the end of this video after I get it installed. But you can see my cap station. Let me see if I can get a light. No, I couldn't find my light without having to go upstairs. But anyways, cap station will always look good, but you'll know when it's not draining, and your test prints won't look great. So, you want to keep that wiper clean, keep up your regular maintenance, and then, it'll last. So I'll go ahead and just pause, and then I'll come back with a new capping station on here as I'm going. Now, let me just add, since I'm not really doing a how-to, there's 4 screws that you take off after you open the door. There's 4 up top. That panel just pops off. You can't run without that panel because there's this little switch there. And then there's 5 that hold down this bottom panel, and you got to open the door to get 2, 1 on each side, and then 3 at the bottom. So that's what I'm doing. And again, I followed another video too, so I'm not creating or inventing this. All right, so here's the capping station, what it looks like out. And pretty dirty. I did have gloves on. I literally just took it down, took them off so I didn't get ink on my gloves. But what I did was I just took it out. You can see the fluid in the line. This one has a short hose because the one going on, it's a little bit longer. Now you don't have to cut them, so you could just leave it like that because you're going to attach it there. So show you with the new capping station. And like I said, there's a lot of videos out there, guys. So this is a Roland one. It's a clean new one. There's your hoses. There's a part number. So they're pretty universal on these Epson heads here. So you can see the lines here. Now I don't know if it was clogged there or not, or if it's clogged on the other side. So I won't know until after I get it going here. So I'm going to continue on. All right, so I got the new cap top in. Now the other one has a longer hose. I'm just keeping it away. I'd say it doesn't matter which one plugs into which, but it's a little tedious if you've never done this before. The way this goes in, so just pay attention when you're taking off how it's in there. And there's a little tiny spring. Don't lose your spring, and be careful putting it back on. And the spring goes right on the side here, so you'll see in those other videos they talk about that. So see if I zoom in. So the spring would go right at the bottom. Sorry, right at the side right here. That's the new cap top there. So okay, so I got it in. And I want to check your lines. When you do the cleaning, you'll see the fluid coming through the lines. If you don't see fluid coming through both, then you got an issue somewhere. There's a leak or something. So just make sure you got fluid coming through. You'll see it on the very first pumps. But after you do the cap top, run a normal cleaning. Don't do anything else until after that. So this is just pulling off the 3 screws here. So this is your pump stuff. So all right, so that's it. All right, so I'm coming down to the final stages. So you can see how the print started to come back after the medium washes, changing the cap top. So if you start to look like that, it's time to change your cap top. So, but yeah, started up yellow and magenta, dropped out, slowly coming back with normal medium washes, and then you can see the fluid going through the lines when the dampers pump it through. They pump through the head down to the cap top and the drain in the box. So yeah, you see it going in there. So anyways, I'm just finishing up a couple more cleans, and then that's about it. So keep up with your maintenance and change your cap tops. 6 months they recommend. So all right, thanks for watching, guys. Like, subscribe, hit that notification. Still like the bn-20. No complaints. You just got to keep up with the maintenance and stuff, and that's about it. So, all right, we'll see you in the next one, guys.